There is a sneaky AI Max setting in Google Ads that looks helpful but can quietly hurt your Google ad performance if you're not careful. This setting is turned on by default. Most Google advertisers aren't even aware that it exists. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what this AI Max setting is, why you need to watch out for it, and how to turn it off. So to demonstrate this, I'm in one of my example Google Ad accounts. I've just started going through the campaign creation process for a search campaign. When you do that, you quickly get to this page, which is all about AI Max. If you're not familiar with AI Max, I have videos on my channel that you can check out for more information on it. Just to very quickly explain, it's basically Google's automated version of a search campaign. So with AI Max, Google's going to find keyword options for you to target automatically. They're going to create assets, so headlines and descriptions based on the information it's able to generate for you that's using your website, other ads you may have created, things like that. So it's automating a lot of the search campaign process is what AI Max is. And when you get to this page, you can see that Google is pushing AI Max, right? They say advertisers that activate AI Max in search campaigns will typically see 14% more conversions or conversion value at a similar CPA or ROAS. So it might not be an absolute game changer, but could be a notable improvement. And because it's automated, a lot of advertisers are testing AI Max. I'd certainly recommend that you test AI Max if you think it might be appropriate for your business. Like I said, I have other videos that talk about whether you should or shouldn't use it, depending on your circumstances. But if you do decide to give it a go and turn it on, so click on optimize your campaign with AI Max, you'll see that automatically we have a couple of different options selected here. So the first one is text customization. So use text from your website, landing pages, ads, and provided assets to create customized copy. Basically, Google is going to take that information and create ad copy for you, make ads, right? Then there's this setting, which is turned on by default, called final URL expansion. So if we read the description so we understand what this is, send traffic to the most relevant URLs on your website when it's likely to result in better performance. So what does that mean? That means that Google can basically ignore the location, the destination that you've set when you created your campaign, saying, I want to send people to click on my ads to this page or these pages. And Google can ignore that and decide to send them to other pages on your website instead if Google thinks that is more likely to lead to a sale or a lead or whatever it is that you're optimizing for. And if you really think that through, that requires a lot of trust from us advertisers to Google systems to be sophisticated enough to do that. And I've seen a number of cases where I've clicked on Google Ads and been taken through to a page where it doesn't really make sense based on my search intent or based on the copy that's in the ad. I think it's this feature that's leading to it. So I think it's a great idea. We can see this feature is in beta. I absolutely love the idea that Google's worked out, okay, you know what? This person's actually more interested in this product based on what they're searching for or their other online activity. Let's just send them straight through to this product. We think that's what's going to really matter for them. But for me to feel comfortable using this, Google basically needs to get this right every time. Because I really don't want to be paying for traffic that sends people to a page that doesn't make sense or is less likely to convert. And I just don't feel like the technology is quite there yet for me to be able to trust that. So when I turn on AI Max, by default, I'm going to deselect final URL expansion, and you can look to do that. If you do want to use it, by the way, if you're a little bit more trusting of the Google Ad platform than I am and other advertisers are, then you can turn this on. But one thing to mention is you can then take more control as an advertiser and add in URL exclusion. So yes, you can use this feature, but don't send anyone to these pages. So that could be as simple as there could be thank you pages or confirmation pages or things where it just absolutely you don't want people to be sent, so you can go ahead and add those in. It might be that there are certain pages that you know just don't convert as well or the customer value is lower. Again, just go ahead and paste the URLs in here and exclude those. You don't want Google even testing that because you just know based on context you have that Google doesn't have that that's less likely to lead to conversion. So if you are going to turn this on, definitely come in and have a real think about your website and a real think about the URLs that you want to exclude. And I also think that whether or not you use this final URL expansion option depends to some extent on the business that you have and the types of campaigns that you're running. So for an e-commerce business, I have less of an issue with leaving this turned on because it's more likely, let's say, that Google's going to send people through to a different product page. I think that's what they might be more interested in. And that's less of a concern for me as an advertiser. I think there's less room for error with that. But if you're a lead gen business or you're a business with a more detailed, a more thought through post-click experience, which a lot of lead gen businesses are, it might be coming through to a very specific landing page with a VSL, making sure it ticks all the boxes with case studies or testimonials or reviews and all the information people need. I don't want Google even testing, because what Google might do is they might test a bunch of stuff and then realize, no, actually we're better off just sending them through to the main location, the location that was selected when the campaign was set up. I don't even want them testing sending people through to my homepage instead, or straight through to my case studies page instead. If you want to click through, we've got that on there. We've really thought this through. With e-commerce businesses, it tends to be more product pages. That's why they're sent through. Like I said, less that can go wrong. With other types of businesses, potentially SaaS, lead gen for sure, I think it's risky to leave this on. If you've got AI Max campaigns running right now, by all means, test turning it off and do a sequential test. So take a look at your results for the last 14 days, turn this part of AI Max off, and then have a look at your results for the next 14 days and compare and see. It may well be that your results are better with it turned on. Fantastic, go ahead and use it. But I think the default position as of right now for Google advertisers should be to turn this off. I'm happy to use AI Max, but I think the text customization and the keyword generation, or the targeting automation, is probably more accurate, through AI Max is much better than this final URL expansion feature, which Google is, in fairness, saying that this is in beta right now. And as is the case with a lot of Google Ads features like this, the more conversion data you have within your Google Ad account, the better this is likely to perform. Just like the better AI Max in general is likely to perform, just like anything automated, because the more conversion data Google has, the more they understand who purchases, where do they go on your website to do so, who becomes a lead, where do they go on your website to do so, what's the difference, what's the nuance between certain users tend to be more interested in this and other users tend to be more interested in this, and they can tailor things. So with newer ad accounts in particular, I'd be looking to turn this final URL expansion off. With more experienced ones, I'd be more open to testing it. But again, remembering to include those URL exclusions. Okay, there's one other bonus setting that I want to show you and tell you to turn off basically. I'll do that in a second. First, I want to very quickly let you know about Hyros. Hyros is fantastic tracking and attribution software and can really help you improve your Google Ad results. It's a software that all the big players in the industry use, including myself. I use it to track results for my own ads across multiple platforms, including Google Ads, and all my organic results as well, which is super helpful. So if someone, for example, comes through and books a call for our done-for-you services, I can see exactly where that person came from. This is particularly important if you're running ads across multiple channels or generating customers organically as well. Without accurate data, you are flying blind, and knowledge is power. So let me show you how important this is. So I'm here in my Hyros dashboard. I'm going to take a look at the data and the results that Hyros has been able to track and compare those to what I'm seeing within my Google Ad account for the same campaign. So this is a Google Ad campaign that we've been running. We're only looking at data for a few days here, but it really demonstrates what's going on. So you can see Hyros has registered 6 leads generated, a cost per lead of just over £15, 75 clicks. It's just a branded search campaign, hence why the CTR is 30%. So not a huge amount going on, but representative, right? So that's the data we can see within Hyros. If I jump over to my Google Ad account, we look at the exact same campaign, same time frame. We've got May 21st to 27th. You can see a lot of the data matches up, right? We've got 75 clicks, 30% CTR just like before. But if we scroll over, you can see that Google has only registered 3 conversions as opposed to the 6. So it's registered half the number of conversions. And I can tell you, looking at the back-end data, that the 6 from Hyros is the accurate number. And that's why this is so important, because we might look at the Google Ads data and come to the wrong conclusion, think this isn't profitable, turn stuff off when we shouldn't, but we can verify it with the Hyros data and make much better, more informed decisions and end up with better overall ad results because of it. So if you want to improve the performance of your Google Ad campaigns and be able to see exactly where your leads and sales are coming from, go ahead and sign up to Hyros. There is a link in the video description. So the other setting that I think you should turn off, which is also turned on by default when you create search campaigns, is in here. If I jump into campaign settings, we've got this part up here, networks, which is another thing that is often missed by Google advertisers. Just like when they turn on AI Max, they don't even consider these options. These are options that people often ignore, and they jump straight down to locations when they're setting up their campaign settings. But when you create a search campaign, obviously you're going to be advertising on Google search, but there are some other options here as well. We've got Google Search Partners Networks. So if we read the description, ads can appear near Google search results and on other Google Search Partners websites when people search for terms that are relevant to keywords. Search partners can include hundreds of non-Google websites, park domains, as well as YouTube and other Google sites. I'm happy to leave that on, but this option, this next one, Google Display Network, which is also recommended by Google, ads can appear on relevant sites, videos, and apps across Google like YouTube and the internet when you have leftover search budget. I think it's best to turn this off. I am very happy to run display ads, but I think that should be done as part of a display campaign or another campaign that is better suited for it, like a Performance Max campaign. Display ads, as Google described there, you see these all the time, right? They're like banner ads and things like that across different websites, apps, etc. So very happy for you to advertise on the display network, very happy to run display ads, but don't do it as part of a search ad campaign. Much better to have a separate ad campaign where you have all the functionality and it's really geared up for it. Just ticking this here and sort of Shoehorning it into this campaign, not the way to get the best results. It's not set up for it. You don't have the ad creative elements that you would as part of a display campaign. So another quick one, but when you're going through and creating your search campaigns, by default, I would turn this off. If you want to run display ads, absolutely fine, but do so in a separate campaign. And just a quick reminder that we offer both done-for-you services, so we can create, manage, and optimize your Google Ad campaigns for you. And we teach you how to get fantastic Google Ad results if you want to manage your campaigns yourself. There are links to both in the video description.